in continuation of our discussion from our previous video, let us discuss the advantages of virtual LAN and why do we need these virtual LANs. So we discussed that we can divide the ports of a switch in different broadcast domains. So some of the ports in broadcast domain 1 and then broadcast domain 2, and some of the ports in the broadcast domain 3. So these all broadcast domains actually represent VLANs or virtual LANs. And now, what are the benefits of dividing these ports into multiple broadcast domains? And so I have shown here a single switch, but we can have multiple switches, and we can combine the ports from these multiple switches in whatever way we want. So we need to configure these all ports, and with this configuration, these ports can be member of VLAN 1, some of the ports members of VLAN 2, and some of the ports of members of VLAN 3. And separate VLANs means separate broadcast domain. So the one of the benefits of this creating virtual LAN is that each VLAN created will have its own broadcast domain, because this is the purpose. We created different VLANs to create different broadcast domain. And if this is these all are separate broadcast domain, it means the nodes which will be connected with these ports, if any one of the node is sending something, then those frames will only be repeated to the nodes which are connected with these ports. Okay, if the node is there who's member of VLAN 1, if that node wants to send some broadcast frames, then those frames will be sent to the nodes which are connected only with these ports. They will not cross their boundary to VLAN 2, for instance. This is VLAN 2. This will not cross. So they only are limited to broadcast domain. So they're into their own broadcast domain. First benefit. So it means if those frames will not cross to other VLANs, it means these nodes which are connected with these ports, they don't have to process these frames. So this will be saving in processing power of rest of the ports of the switch. So the same point is written here. So it will reduce CPU burden of rest of the nodes which are not member of that VLAN. So some of the ports which are not member of these VLANs, they can save their CPU processing power. Okay. And then security can be the security risk will be minimized to local VLAN. So what happens if there is a problem, if there is a risk, then that risk will be minimized to a single virtual LAN. So because if we are sending some broadcast frames, those frames can only be received within the same VLAN. They will not cross the other VLANs. It means if there is a security threat in some VLAN, that will not cross the other VLANs in most of the cases. So this will minimize, actually, the security risk will be minimized to local VLAN. And then we can also apply per VLAN security policies. So what happens? We can apply one security policies in this VLAN, maybe other security policies in this VLAN, and third kind of security policies in this VLAN. So in this way we can apply different level of securities to different VLANs because we have divided them into different broadcast domains. And then better traffic management. So traffic can be better managed because if there is some broadcast frame which has to be sent to a single VLAN, then this will not cross others. So in this way we can somehow manage the traffic properly. Traffic means the data traveling through the switches, so the switch ports. And then users can be divided on per VLAN basis. So for instance, here, if for example in our university we have some of the persons who are acting as a teachers, we're teaching. Some of them are just the administrative staff, and some of them are the students. So we can assign those users to different VLANs. Okay? So this may be this VLAN. VLAN 1 is for teachers, VLAN 2 is for administrative staff, and VLAN 3 is for students. So we can apply different level of security to this VLAN, to this VLAN, and to this VLAN. So this has provided us an easiness that how to manage different VLANs. So these are some of the advantages. So we will discuss more about VLANs and its advantages in coming videos. And yes, we will do this in Cisco Packet Tracer as well. And this is it for today. Thank you.